this to send the Packers into the NFC Championship game. It is good! The Packers are moving on!
Welcome to Two Dudes with Upsetting News. I'm Randy Sklar.
And I'm dude number 2 with some upsetting news about touchdowns. Now, if you're like us, you were blown away by some pretty epic playoff performances this past weekend.
We are talking predominantly about the field goal kickers. They were incredible. They were, dare I say, kicking
Field goals? Hell, Pittsburgh scored all of their 18 points on 6 field goals and won the game.
How about that late game shootout between the Cowboys and the Packers? Those two teams were trading last-second field goals like Jason's son trades Pokemon cards. It was one of the most exciting playoff games of all time.
Each team's postseason hopes rising and falling on the legs and feet of 2 solitary warriors.
Mason Crosby was a flat-out stud. The 56-yard field goal he kicked with 1:38 left in regulation was the longest fourth-quarter field goal made in postseason history.
The Cowboys' Dan Bailey's 52-yard field goal that he kicked with time running down in the fourth quarter was the second longest postseason field goal kicked with under 2 minutes left to play in regulation.
Meanwhile, Crosby's 51-yard field goal to win the game was the longest field goal ever kicked to win a postseason game.
Not to mention the one he put through the uprights right as the Cowboys called timeout right before he made that kick. He made it twice. In other words, Mason Crosby was like Aaron Rodgers out there. No, scratch that. He has changed the game. Now, every time Aaron Rodgers leads the pack to a come-from-behind victory, we need to say Rodgers was like a regular Mason Crosby out there. Clutch and almost superhuman.
What about the Steelers' Chris Boswell, who went 6 for 6 versus KC? That was the most productive postseason kicking performance in history. He was scoring more than Channing Tatum on a Magic Mike live tour.
This marked the first time in the 534 NFL postseason games in which a team that scored multiple touchdowns lost to a team that scored none.
Let's face it, guys. Without all those historic field goals, the games this past weekend would have been boring. Now, there was a lot of talk this past offseason about eliminating the point-after attempt in favor of the two-point conversion, but we say no. You're eliminating the wrong thing. Eliminate the touchdown in favor of the field goal.
Pittsburgh wouldn't care. No touchdowns, no problem.
Mason Crosby would become the highest-paid player in NFL history.
Chris Boswell would just sit back and rake in the Dr. Scholl's and tough Acton deals like nobody's business.
Hey, the Rams won half their games this season on field goals alone. If you don't think that means anything, Greg Zierlein gets a better table at Dan Tana's than George Clooney.
Ask anybody who was lucky enough to attend a playoff game in the first 2 rounds of the postseason this year and watch these kicking masters at work. Kickers made 21 of 21 in this second round and 33 of 33 field goals this entire postseason so far.
Plus, the NFL is looking to expand internationally. What's the biggest sport in the world? Soccer. If we eliminate the touchdown, you still have all the running and the passing and the tackling. But if you finish everything off with the most exciting play in the game, the field goal, then voila. Watch the worldwide popularity of the NFL explode. Goodbye, Messi. Hello, Mason.
Mason?
Mason Crosby.
Oh, yeah, right.
Get on the good foot, everybody. Kick the TD to the curb and then watch the excitement unfold.
After all, it is called football.